Welcome to the LDN radio show, brought to you by the LDN Research Trust. I'm your host, Linda Elsiegood. I have an exciting lineup of guest speakers who are LDN experts in their field. We will be discussing low-dose Naltrexone and its many uses in autoimmune diseases, cancers, etc. Thank you for joining us. This show is sponsored by our members who made donations. We'd like to give them a very big thank you. We have to cover the monthly costs of the radio station's software, bandwidth, phone lines and phone calls to be able to continue with the radio show. And thank you for listening. Today my guest is Cindy from the United States, who takes LDN for MS. Thank you for joining us today, Cindy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Could you tell me when you first noticed that there was something wrong with you? How long ago was that?
Well, it was back in in the 80s. I was a letter carrier. I delivered mail I worked for the Postal Service, delivering mail. And I noticed I started to have trouble with my balance. My legs would go numb. I would have numbness in my face. My vision would change. And originally I thought I got bit by a tick, but it didn't. It turned out it wasn't that. And it was a couple of years of having MRIs and having inconclusive of just not knowing, seeing lesions but not knowing what they were. And then the year 9/11 happened, and I was still working for the Postal Service. And that slowly went from 9/11 right into the anthrax thing, which was very stressful because we were handling packages and we were handling mail, and it was a very, very stressful time. And then soon after, I had a flu shot because they felt, well, if it's not anthrax, if you take the flu shot, then if you have symptoms of anthrax, we'll know it's not the flu. So I had the flu shot, and 10 days later, I had the biggest flare-up of MS that I ever had, and didn't know I had MS yet. And I was numb from the waist down. I couldn't see, and I was in the hospital on IV steroids for a week. And I had 2 months of physical therapy to recover from that. And then they diagnosed me with the MS and suggested interferon, suggested all those kinds of drugs. So I did go on Copaxone for a while, but I couldn't tolerate the side effects. So I went on and off for years, and then I retired from there. And I don't do that job anymore because I just couldn't do it anymore. And my primary doctor suggested, he showed me the book on its medicine and suggested I read it. And so I did. And I went to my neurologist and asked her if I could try this, and she let me do it. And it's been wonderful. It's been there's a big difference in the way I feel every day. The fatigue is gone, the brain fog is gone, and I feel so much better. And then I had a recent MRI with no progression and no new lesions, which was really, really to me confirming that this really does work and works very well.
Mm-hmm. So before you started LDN, if you'd have had to have rated your quality of life on a score of 1 to 10, what would it have been?
Probably about a 5 or so, because what would happen is I would get up and I would be awake and be able to do some tasks and get things done till around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then that would be it. I would be too tired to do anything after that.
Mm-hmm. And how easy was it to get a prescription for LDN?
Very easy, very simple. I went to my neurologist and she said that she'd heard of it, but she wasn't that enthusiastic about giving it to me. But she said she would let me try it. But she wanted me to continue on, I was taking Tecfidera at the time, which was raising my liver enzyme very high. And it also had a lot of side effects. And so she let me try it, wanted me to stay on both, and I decided I wasn't going to stay on both. I was going to give this a try. And she let me do it, and I was also taking a couple of antidepressants at the time. I had been taking them for years. And I found I was able to wean myself off of those as well, so I'm not taking those either.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
She went along with me, and so then she wanted me to have another MRI, and so I had that, and then found that it really did work. I was afraid to almost have it because you want to believe that this is doing it, and you want some confirmation. And then when I had it, we saw that it was a good MRI with no lesions and no further progression. I was very felt really confident in and now that so I'll probably never have another MRI, but because I don't see any reason to.
Yeah. What would you say your quality of life is like now on that score of 1 to 10?
I would say like a 9. It's very good. I mean, I can't do everything, but it's really. I think about the hours I spend doing being able to work all day and being able to be alert enough to get things done, and not being so fatigued that I have that short window of time where I would get things done in the morning, and after that I was done. Mm-hmm. And that's not the case anymore. I can do much more than I did.
And what would you say to other people with MS who are contemplating trying LDN?
I've got nothing to lose. You really won't. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. You really need to try it.
Mm-hmm. And in your experience, how long did it take before LDN worked for you?
It took, I would say, 2 to 3 months, because I started out at 2 milligrams, and then I worked my way up to the 5. Now, my neurologist wants me on 5 milligrams. I don't know why. It's just what she wanted, so I went along with it because she gave it to me. And I think it's fine. I think I may sleep better if I take a little less, but I'm taking the 5. It took a little while. I noticed once I got over 3 milligrams that I started to feel really good.
Mm-hmm. And did you have any introductory side effects at all?
Just the insomnia. So I do take it during the day. I do have to take it in the morning. I gave up trying. I tried to go back to my dosing. And now that I have a good MRI that shows that it's working, I don't worry about taking it in the morning. I kind of dropped that nighttime thing. I just can't take it at night. It gives me too much energy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The only thing is, I had a plan, that was it.
Mm-hmm. There are people with chronic fatigue syndrome who do prefer taking it in the morning for exactly that reason. They feel it gives them more energy taking it in the morning than at night, because who wants to be wide awake in the middle of the night?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if it does work, and which it does, just this MRI proves to me that it does work just as well. Mm-hmm. That there's no reason to put yourself through insomnia when you don't need to.
Wow. What would you say to yourself in the past if you were able to go back about LDN?
Well, I wish I knew about it sooner. When I think about all the years I spent taking some of these drugs that actually did do some damage to my liver, and did also added side effects that you didn't, in addition to your symptoms, to add that to that, and what it did to you every day of the week. And I wish I'd known about it sooner. I wish 20 years ago. I'm going on 18 years now with MS. I'm 2 or 3 years before that, not diagnosed, didn't know what I had. But I think about all the years I put in of doing other things, thinking, not knowing there was anything else. And I think it's a shame that more people don't know about it. I have a niece just diagnosed not that long recently, and I encouraged her to ask about it. And they did know about it, but she has to still decide what to do. And there's so many choices out there now where there wasn't any before, but I think this is such a good choice that if it's not in part of the mainstream, you're competing with all these expensive medications out there that seem to be put out there first and offered first. It's not offered unless you ask for it. That's what I find to be so frustrating in the U.S. is that you have to know to ask for it. If you didn't know to ask for it, you would never be told about it. And I think that's really something that needs to change. I don't know what it's going to take to do that.
I just think it's sad when there are people out there who will phone me, inquire about LDN, ask all the questions and say, yep, I think it's really good. It's something I'd like to try. People with MS.
but they don't want to take it now. They want to wait until they need to take it when things start to go wrong. And I always think, obviously, it's their choice, so I don't say this to people, but I would rather take it before I go downhill rather than take it when you are downhill to try and improve yourself. I mean, if you can halt the progression, it's got to be a win-win, hasn't it? Rather than try and see what you can get back. Yeah. Well, what an amazing story, Cindy, and thank you very much for sharing it with us today.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I hope that things change in this country where people will get to know about this more than they do now.
Well, we're working hard, and we've got you as a volunteer, so that's got to be a win-win too. And the best advocates are those people that take LDN. So, thank you for joining us and helping us spread the word. Let's make LDN easily accessible for everybody, regardless where you live in the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This show is sponsored by our members who made donations. We'd like to give them a very big thank you. We have to cover the monthly costs of the radio station's software, bandwidth, phone lines and phone calls to be able to continue with the radio show. And thank you for listening. Any questions or comments you may have, please email me, Linda, Linda, at ldnrt.org. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciated your company. Until next time, stay safe and keep well.